If you are new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
A couple weeks ago, we went to our local garden center for some supplies, and we looked at the plant area, and this lovely little aloe plant was on sale. And it just turns out that there was 2 plants in there. We looked kind of for a possibility of that when we were looking for the plants, and we got lucky. So we brought the little aloe home with us, and we're going to do a couple things, show you how to do a couple of things. If you have a succulent or an aloe plant, this is a common practice where you take cuttings and then you create more plants. So the first thing we're going to show you here is how we took some cuttings and how we're going to propagate it. So what you want to do is when you take your cuttings, you just want to let them sit out for about a week so they get nice and dry at the end. So all the aloe goop is dried up at the end, and we just simply took a cutting from the outside. So once it's nice and dried up, all you have to do is you just take your whatever you're using and you just put the cutting directly in and just make sure it's in there, about 1 inch deep, so it's nice and sturdy and firm. And then you want to take your soil and just kind of pack it around. And what will happen is that this will encourage it to grow, the little aloe, and then you will eventually have an aloe plant. It takes a little bit of time, especially right now. It's cold where we are, so a lot of these plants tend to not necessarily go dormant, but they're not going to be in their best growing phase. So that's one way of expanding your succulent or your aloe plant. So that's one option. We have another option here because we just happened to find this one, and we brought it home. And so what you want to do is, you can see that there's 2 complete separate plants here. And so that's what you want to look for. And it's a pretty simple process. You can buy succulent soil, or if you like a sandier soil, that's what you want to work with. So I'm just going to work over this one. And I'm just going to simply separate them. I'm not going to pull too hard. There are 2 separate root systems. You can feel that. You can see that. They have a little bit of intertwined roots, but look at how easily that came apart. So I'm going to put this guy back in there, and then I'm just going to take this one, kind of check the depth. I'm going to add a little bit more soil because you want to bury it right. If you look, you can see where it kind of turns lighter color, whitish. You don't want to bury it much deeper than that, just like it was in the pot. So I'm going to expose the roots so that they can do their thing. I think that's a pretty good height because we want it nice and firm in here. I want to center it a little bit. That's pretty good. And then I have more soil here. So we got our little aloe friend planted. I actually might give this to a friend of mine, but you want to just water them. We can water it a little bit, but you water them about once a month. That's all that's necessary for the succulent plants, and the roots will expand down and it'll be good to go. So that's how easy it is. And in a couple weeks, we're going to go ahead and show you our propagation aloes and show you the progress that they have made. So it's been about 4 weeks since we repotted our aloe friend here and then did the propagation of the aloe. Well, I think it's been 5 weeks since we tried the propagation officially, but the aloe, it did fine. We repotted it and we separated the 2 clumps of roots, and it did just fine. And as you can see, they grow from the center. You can kind of see how this is a much brighter green versus this other green. And then our propagation did not take off. It's all mucky and gross. This one's, yeah, it didn't do well. So it's possible that we should have taken from the center growth, from the younger growth, versus the outer older growth. So we'll have to figure out why that happened. But that's okay. We have our 2 other aloe plants here. We're very happy with them. And yeah, this is what happened within a month. I know this one did not definitely have that, and this one didn't have that growth either. So it's doing well, but the propagation did not do so well for us. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.